is it you pray for?
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to episode number 60 of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me is my co-host, Lawrence Knight.
Salutations and greetings.
So this is the 60th episode of this show. It's kind of nuts when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm definitely grateful to have made it this far. I mean, we've definitely been through a lot, through these 60 episodes. So, and I mean, I know that I'm sure you guys know that as shows go on and you start, as we get some longevity, we're constantly looking for things to do, and just I don't know, December just seems like it's just one of those months where everything just kind of dies down a little bit. Not dies down, but there's so much going on. People Christmas shopping and stuff, and people are there, making plans for the next year. So it just for me, like I enjoy our show. Each week is something different, but I can already. I mean, you and I have already had discussions, which I'll elaborate on in a few minutes. But I could tell we're already. You and I both know we're already in that limbo phase. We're like right on the cusp of a transition.
Yes. Yeah. It's been like that all around too. There's a lot of stuff happening. People doing holiday stuff with family and that kind of thing. This is a slow time for streams in general, but what's fun actually is not this next week, but the week after for the Star Trek show. That's Christmas Eve.
Is it?
Might. And don't take this as an official announcement, people, or anything like that. But there's a possibility that we might end up skipping that week just because, most of our panelists have families and that kind of thing. And I don't know. Maybe it'll just be me and Anna giving all of you guys shit for being wholesome.
Yeah, and also for some people it's cultural. Some people they celebrate on the 24th and not the 25th.
Yeah, and there's a few like myself who don't celebrate at all.
Right.
So we will see what happens. We'll be making that announcement further on when there's a more official thing to say about that. But yeah, and the following episode is on fucking New Year's. So like it just kind of lined up perfectly that those were both on Sundays this year.
I might pop up on the if it's on, I might pop up on the Christmas Eve show. I'll have to see.
If we have one, we may not. We're in discussion about it. So I know there's a few who probably wouldn't be able to make it. I mean, Alf's got 5 kids, for crying out loud. Yeah.
So, 5?
Yeah, he has 5 kids.
He really is horny.
Yeah. According to his wife and all the children that they made. So it is how it be sometimes, but sometimes the shows just line up like that, and I think actually last year I did a Screaming Into the Void on Christmas Eve, but there wasn't a lot of people for that one, just because everybody was out and about doing their thing.
Right.
And it's just I just kind of providing a place for people like myself who aren't doing anything. So I don't know. Depending on what's going on, we may you may see a stream on this channel one way or the other. I haven't decided yet. Who knows? I might just take the day off.
Well, you know what? That would probably be the perfect ending to a long year.
Yeah. No. So, and if you recall, we did do a Screaming Into the Void on New Year's last year. It was the only panel that I've done where I was actively drinking while on the panel.
We did pretty decent though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was okay. We had Squatch on, we had Carrie on, Maester Chow was there, I think. Cat was there. Yeah, we had a pretty full panel. So it was a decent show, despite the fact that the only ones who were drinking were Squatch and myself, and we got hammered. So, but that is upcoming stuff. Tonight we have some fun stuff for y'all. I will try to limit spoilers.
Yeah, it's for tonight, guys. Of course, we have some infamous news for you guys. Um, they're pretty much all flight related. I don't know what the hell people are thinking, but there's just some crazy stuff that's been going on flights this week. I know there's one in particular where had I been on that flight, I probably would be in handcuffs right now. Um, and then to elaborate on what Sam's talking about, both of us have seen the Godzilla movie, the Godzilla minus one. So apparently, I think it must be doing well because
Hmm.
you messaged me the other day and you said, "Hey, you might want to go see that movie. They're gonna pull it in a couple of days." Well, they decided they decided to extend the screenings out here. So it must be doing pretty decent. They're pulling in some dollars.
Yeah, Toho put out an announcement on Twitter like the day after I told you that, and they said, "Don't worry, as long as American audiences keep watching, we'll keep showing it." And then they
Yeah,
didn't just keep it going where it was already at. They added theaters, they added dates, they added showtimes.
hmm and it's
No.
we'll elaborate into that, and then and then we're gonna round things out with a list of, according to this website, a list of the most powerful movie monsters out there in history, and that will be the night.
Yep. So it might not be a long episode, but we have stuff to talk about, so we will should be a good one.
Yeah, and also we do have an announcement. So as you guys know, and we'll start off with this. As you guys know, we're always striving to improve and change some things. Um, the the quizzes that we do, they're not going anywhere. We're just kind of changing a bit as to how they're done. We are going to try to get more guests onto the panel starting in January. When we get them on, that's probably, we'll have quizzes when we have, get some panelists on. And don't worry, as for Nomi is still part of our crew. Just, you know Nomi's working, so we don't, whenever her schedule changes or whatnot, we'll, I'm sure she'll be back. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep rolling on with what we're doing. Also, since this show is normally primarily themed at the scary stuff, starting in January, we are going to basically turn ourselves into the Scooby Doo gang. So we're actually going to take a look at some real scary, real eerie cases, and either we'll try to solve them ourselves, or we'll come up with some good theories as to what happened. Um, we might even find some actual games and things that that we can actually show and try to solve. Um, so that's going to start up in January. Right now, we are currently looking for content for that. Um, so just stay tuned for that.
Indeed. So, do we want to just jump right into the movie?
No, we got the news first.
All right, we can do this.
we can do a couple of we'll do a couple of news reports first. So here's the first thing. Um, so you've heard of have you ever you've heard of Spirit Airlines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, eh, yeah. Everybody says yeah, and they start laughing like that. Well, it's for those of you that don't know, Spirit Airlines is the discount airline of the air highway. There's usually something crazy going on Spirit Airlines. I've ridden Spirit plenty of times, and I've never had a bad flight. So I guess I've been lucky. But
Yeah, you have, because Spirit makes American look like luxury flying in a C5.
yeah, yeah. Well, I guess some lady and her husband or her boyfriend, you know, if you don't trust the airline that you're getting on, why get on it? I wouldn't even get on it if I absolutely did not have to, but maybe they did have to get on it. So this travel blogger and her boyfriend decided to ride Spirit Airlines. Um, what they did is, so everybody gets a carry-on luggage.
Hmm.
These two brought parachutes.
Well, I mean, never let someone else pack your chute, I guess.
I guess, but they brought parachutes as their carry-on luggage. So I mean, I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, "So, would you guys think you think the plane's gonna go down?" Well, I can tell you what, right now, I mean, everybody sees those parachutes. Good luck at making it out of the plane with that parachute still attached to you, because somebody's gonna try to snatch. I mean, you're talking about a frenzy. There's gonna be full on fights, full on a battle trying to get out of that plane with your parachute. Because everybody on that plane is going to be trying to get their hands on it to jump out of it, to jump out of the, out of the plane with it, and that's if you can get
Mhm.
out, you know. And I would also dare to say it's probably dangerous to even kick the door out and try to jump out, because you might hey you might catch a Titanic, you might hit the wing and split in two, you know.
That's actually a fair point. Sometimes when things get removed from airplanes at high altitudes, yeah, that's a real danger is that they might hit the engine,
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know
which
what
would,
the, I don't know
yeah.
I don't know
There
what they
was
were
a did,
thinking. Go ahead.
you heard that story back in the 90s about that Boeing that the windshield came off at like 17,000 feet and sucked the pilot out, and
No.
and so essentially what happened was this flight attendant, I forget what his name was. Anyway, he happened to be entering the cockpit at the exact moment that happened, and he grabbed the dude's feet and held on for dear life. And for 20 minutes, held on to the man until they could make a safe landing. Both of the men survived, suffered from severe frostbite on the face and all that. The pilot was beat to shit, had a bunch of fractures everywhere, severe frostbite, but both of them survived.
Wow.
And the co-pilot was just like, I got to get this plane down before somebody dies. And one of the fears that was talked about at the time was that if the flight attendant let go of the pilot, and he was losing his grip the whole time, he managed to hold on by his fingernails essentially. But if he had lost his grip, one of the fears was that the pilot's body would have hit one of the engines, which would have you know put the rest of the plane in jeopardy as well.
Of course, that would have been it. Well,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it could have, because that engine could explode. I mean, they'd have to
Mhm.
try to turn it off. I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was. I think this was in 1995. It was a British airline. I forget which. So, I just reread the story the other day, but the names always escape me.
I guess they build their planes like just like how they build their Range Rovers.
Yeah, no, it was like one of those freak accidents. Like pressure just popped it out, like the air pressure,
Mm.
something like that. And yeah, it was kind of a miracle that the windscreen itself didn't hit an engine or something.
Yeah, that is a miracle. That is definitely
So,
a miracle.
but they got down safely. Everybody survived. Battered, bruised, and frozen, but they did live.
Mm. Well, that leads me to my second story, which I'm loading up right now. Sorry, guys, I'm on the laptop, so so this next guy is a prankster. He's a YouTube prankster. He thought it was a good idea to get on an airplane at 30,000 feet and decided to go into the bathroom, right? The little airplane bathroom. This fool decides to fry garlic shrimp in the sink, in the bathroom on the plane.
Well, he was hungry.
Well, he admitted it was a terrible idea. So yeah, he they're calling him the snake, like MacGyver. They're calling him Snack Guyver. But apparently he's been doing this, and he's made everything from pizza to baby back ribs in the bathroom. So
Is he just sneaking food in with his carry-on?
yeah, we you know what? I don't I don't know if the policies have changed, but now they're really not checking that. A few months ago, when I was flying out, people were coming on there with. I told you what happened with me. People were coming on there with smoothies that they had bought. One lady got on and was eating bananas and then farting left and right like the whole time I was on the plane. This lady stood next to me and she was just letting them rip, and they smelled like bananas.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
so
Can you can
mad.
you can you imagine being the guy who has to go through everybody's carry-on and stuff before they go on board, checking for bombs and stuff, and you open this dude's luggage and you're just like, okay, so there's underwear, there's a shaving kit, other sundry items, and 8 pounds of red meat uncooked. And like a Bunsen burner.
I mean, yeah, and that's what made me wonder. Like, what did he use to get past them? Because there was a photo of it, and it didn't look like he had a burner. It looked like he jury rigged something. He had like an electrical device. It was
Mm.
let me see. I'm looking at it. So yeah, so what he did was he put like a puddle of water, and then he took some kind of electrical device with a cord. This idiot could have electrocuted himself and caused damage to that plane. But he put it in the sink to electrify to heat up the water, and then he put the shrimp in the water and then seasoned it and cooked it in the sink in the bathroom.
S- My, I get how he did all that. My question is how did he get the shrimp aboard and into the bathroom without it going bad? Because you have to like keep that shit on ice until it's cooked, right? Like you can't
Yeah, yeah,
just have it out sweating along with all of your underwear and shit in the fucking overhead compartment. It'll go
yeah.
bad real
Well, you know what?
fast.
People according okay, so it was a what he did was what he snuck on there to cook it. It's a battery. It's a battery. So, but somebody even said they said, on his Twitter, I ain't calling it X. Is that how did that battery make it past TSA? And that's a good question. How did it make it past TSA?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's bribing people to look the other way. TSA's corrupt as shit.
I guess.
Um,
But yeah,
well, they are.
he had a battery, a fuse, and a heat element.
Yeah,
I mean,
gotta do it. You don't really even need the fuse. The fuse just helps regulate the electricity.
right. But still, the fact that he would and even acknowledged that it was a bad idea for him to do it. The fact that he did that with all them people, they I would have been in handcuffs, man. I would have been in handcuffs.
Yeah, when they say turn off all your electrical devices, they probably didn't think that anybody was going to sneak some jury-rigged cookware aboard.
Yeah, and the fact that he was on Twitter bragging about what he done, like, yeah, that's real smart. And somebody was saying he's probably going to end up on a no-fly list. Yeah, that's if he's not arrested. I'm pretty sure that the feds are looking for him right now
Well, hopefully it was tasty and worth it.
for some
I,
shrimp.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know that I would have gone with shrimp because, like I said, you have to keep that shit frozen before you cook it, or it goes bad real fast. So, I don't know.
City Elite share. Kawhi City Elite share. Kawhi, I think he ate it all himself. He doesn't look
What a
like
prick!
yeah, he doesn't look like the type of guy that would share food. So, um, and I'm speaking as a guy that doesn't like to share food, or at least off my
Yeah,
own plate.
you
Um,
and me both.
but yeah, that was that I hope he gets his for it. Because I really, TikTokers and people that do all these pranks, that's fine. But when you do it at other people's expense, that's where I draw the line right there, because somebody could have gotten hurt.
Indeed.
Now the
Indeed.
next
But
one. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, but the prick didn't even share it with the other passengers. Like, I mean, if you're going to put their lives in danger for tasty treats, you might as well let them have a taste, right?
Well, he only had a couple of them. It was like a small bag of them. It wasn't. It wasn't like a giant bag. It was a small bag.
Look, as my grade school teachers throughout my entire, public education career have often said, if you didn't bring enough for everybody, then you shouldn't have brought it at all.
Yeah, but you're expecting this guy to at least have had that logic and standard.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, no, I've heard that one too. I've been told that also, and I was like, okay, well, I brought enough. Cough, cough, cough. Sorry guys. Yeah, I'm kind of sick and I coughed all over it.
Yeah.
Worked every
Did,
time.
did I ever tell you that my grandmother, whenever there was like dinner served, like a feast or a banquet, Thanksgiving, whatever, and there would be a basket full of like fresh out of the oven rolls, right?
Mm.
Just the oh man, there's nothing like fresh out of the oven rolls. She
Oh no,
would
yeah,
pick through
yeah.
the whole basket to the very bottom to find the one she wanted, and then she would lick it and put it back so that you knew it was hers. My grandmother.
But what if somebody comes in and they weren't around when they licked it? They're not gonna
Well,
know that she licked it.
the point isn't so much that she licked the one and that she marked that. She just wanted you to know that was hers. The fact is that she touched all of them just to find that one, and then licked it and put them all back with hers at the bottom. My grandmother was a
So in
sick
other
woman.
words, I was about to say it sounds to me like she just wanted all the biscuits to herself.
She also liked fucking with people. There was a car commercial years ago, um, where they were doing some kind of deal on the car lot or whatever, and somebody was walking up to look at this one car, and they're like, "Oh, hey, let's take a look at this one." Somebody else ran up and licked the door handle and then just stared him
Oh,
down. And so I saw this commercial play with my mom, and my mom looks at me and she's like, "That's exactly what my mom would have done." Implying, of course, that my grandmother absolutely would have licked the door handle, because who's going to touch it now?
yeah. My grandmother wouldn't have done that. Now my wife's grandmother, on the other hand, probably would have. She probably would have. So I wouldn't put it past her, because she's a funny old lady, and I could see her doing something like that.
I loved my grandma. She was a hell of a woman, but she had a nasty sense of humor, and and I don't mean gross or like crude or anything like that. I mean, like, she would do stuff like that just to mess with people, and I suppose it makes sense. I mean, she was an army triage nurse in World War II. So she came back a little bit different than she went.
I'll bet. But when you see the things that people with those type of MOSs see, their humor is going to be off, because they're
Mhm.
looking for something to.
Oh yeah.
Life looks very different when you experience what we experience in war, and then come back. Things that people think is a huge deal, and they stop talking to each other and all that stuff. We're just like, we kind of, people in the military, we look at it like, you guys are just, you're getting mad over nothing, you know.
Oh yeah. No, and they tend to develop what's called gallows humor, which I've also experienced around doctors and cops. Because sometimes making terrible, terrible jokes is the only way to deal with the horrible shit you're seeing.
Mhm.
Yeah, but in her case, like that, I don't know what that has to do with the licking, except that she kind of came back with a bit of a mean streak.
Well, that's also something that I could see a lot of military people doing when they really wanted something.
Mhm.
They would do stuff like that. They were usually drunk when they did it, though. You
Yeah,
know, that's the difference.
stone sober, lick
Yeah,
the bottom roll, put it
And
back.
like that crazy roommate I had when I was stationed overseas. I mean, well, I've already told my stories with him on this program, but I could see him doing that. But I could see him doing it when he was drunk, which was at the time the entire year that we were there. The guy was drunk, probably 90 on duty too.
Mm,
He at least, you
yeah,
know, he was a functioning alcoholic. So when you saw him get drunk, you knew that this guy probably had vodka in his blood by then. You know, you cut him and he'd bleed rum or something, or you know, beer, since he'd drink beer like it was water. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked to find out if he was still alive today, because his liver probably looked like a raisin with
yeah,
what he was doing.
yeah. So sorry about that segue there. I just, couldn't
No,
help but
no,
think of my grandma.
no, help yourself. Um, we do have two more we do have two more stories on the Abyssal list, but I think you can wait. One of them's really cool though, because some this there was an auction, and apparently I guess it's from like, I don't know if it's from like the 1500s or something, but it's a 100% authentic vampire slaying kit. It's
Oh
hidden.
yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, it's like a Bible, like a Bible casing. You open it up, that thing had everything in it. It had crosses, rosaries. It had a gun in case the wooden stake doesn't work. Yeah, like if the stake doesn't work, the gun's not supposed to work.
Yeah, I
But,
think I
but
saw something a couple years ago about one that was dug up in some ruins of some Eastern European castle or whatever, and it had a bunch of stuff in it that yeah, monster hunters would have used at the time. I mean, they were a lot of it was essentially priest stuff, but you'd have like stakes and hammers and that kind of thing.
doesn't it kind of
Razor
make you
wire, I
wonder
think.
though? Doesn't it kind of make you wonder though? I mean, seeing as how a few months ago we read that story about that vampire child, and when they dug up, dug it up, and the bones were and the bones were actually like was nailed to the ground. So
Yeah, through the
you are
skull.
we yeah. So we read that, and now we're seeing this. So it almost makes
Ye-
me wonder.
Yeah, but you could keep in mind too, people at that time in that region of the world were incredibly superstitious, so deformities would have come off as something evil and demon possessed to them.
Well, Lord Byron had a club foot. He lived.
Lord Byron lived 200 years after, 200 or 300 years after that kid
Still counts.
in England.
Still counts.
No. So yeah, but like apparently this the kid his bones were malformed. Like he had an abnormally large cranium. His teeth were all jacked. Uh, to be fair, some of them had been broken out, apparently by whoever killed him. But the shape of them was odd. Um, there was some other stuff too, but yeah, it was either a child or a malformed dwarf.
Yeah, he probably looked like a Nosferatu, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's essentially it. And they probably assumed that he was, and then they did some awful shit to him. I mean, his the skull was severed at the neck. The it was nailed
Let's not
down.
go into detail. It's still a kid.
I think they actually had a whole garlic bulb, or the remains of one anyway, stuck between his teeth. Like they had gagged him with it.
Yeah,
And like,
the fact
yeah,
that
they
the fact that any part of a garlic bulb would last that long.
well, I mean, they essentially buried him alive. So, well, not alive. He was quite dead, but they didn't like, he was just stuck in a hole in the ground. They didn't really have like a
I'm
lot of
saying
a lot of
you
other
would
stuff
think
going
that
on.
I'm saying, but you would think that the garlic would dissolve.
You'd think. I don't know. I could be wrong about that too, but I could have sworn that I read something about that.
I'll have to check it out afterwards to find out. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we can definitely focus on that. And then the other one is I didn't know that there's a micronation in Nevada. Like that, it's an actual nation. It's got like 38 people.
Apparently, there are two in the United States, but I don't know where the other one is. Zeron, the gamer, is just sometimes a member of our chat. He apparently is trying to start or has started his own micronation, and he wanted to bring more awareness to that. He mentioned in the chat at one point that there are like two in the United States. I know there's at least one in Paris, France, and it's
How's the United
essentially a
States allowing it
sculpture
though?
because they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, but don't they? I mean, you figure.
Well, it's like this: the land that the micronation is on isn't the micronation, but the structure is. So it's essentially a loophole in private property law.
I guess. But
Like,
even with private property, there's still certain things you can't do to people, you know.
huh?
So I'm wondering. I mean, we'll go in a bit of details, but it just made me wonder how can they get away with some of the stuff that they will do if you break their laws because you're still in America. I would
I
think that the
mean,
Constitution still applies.
essentially, if they're breaking, I don't know, if you're talking about like them breaking the laws of the United States, then they're still subject to that law. I don't care, like micronation or not. That's not a legal thing. Um, like you can have your little commune or whatever, but yeah, you're
You might
you're
want
not
to tell these
actually
people
separate
that.
from the United States because if you are, then you're guilty of secession.
Well, you might want to tell them that because
You know,
once we get into the details, I'll read the details because I haven't read the article yet. I just grabbed it because I couldn't stop laughing at the headline.
Hmm.
But with that said, we can move on. We can move on to Godzilla -1.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about this. I don't know. I think there might be a few spoilers, few minor spoilers. So if you have not seen it, chat, go watch it, then come back to this. Honestly, because it's fantastic, and I think we want to talk about it.
Yeah. If I say anything, I'll say something that is harmless and will not impact. Won't impact the storyline. I'll say that.
Yeah. The first thing that I gotta say, though, and I have to say this, I wish I was not in this position, but here we are. I have been on record repeatedly over the last year in regards to kaiju movies, talking about how I do not care about the human interest story part of it. I don't care about, you know, what's going on with the humans beyond the squishing, as in turning them into paste between the monster's toes. That's all I care about in regards to their being in these movies. And well, this movie there was a lot of human interest stuff in it, but damn, it was good.
It was,
it
and I'll say this. I'll say this. I'll chime in on this. The human interest stuff and the Godzilla attacks, they were proportioned very well. And if you think that it's a slow startup before Godzilla does anything, yeah, you'll be in for a rude awakening because I sat down in my seat and before I knew what happened, he was already he was already going to work.
Yeah. So it was just a surprise to me that I cared as much about these characters as I did, which also says something about how well they were written and portrayed. Um, I actually gave a damn what happened to the characters. Even the minor characters were pretty solidly written. I only have a couple of gripes about this movie, and it isn't enough to make me not love it.
Really, I had no gripes about that movie. I mean, I none at all. Look, that the action was on point. Um, the characters, they each, I mean, they were all interesting. I definitely got caught up in the storyline. Um, I could say this. The only thing that I noticed, and it made sense, is how slow Godzilla walked. It was like they kept it true to to the old black and white ones where he was moving so slow. And I found myself thinking after the
There
first
was a weight
attack,
to him.
yeah. But as far as the time that elapsed between the first attack and the second, as slow as he walked, I could understand why it took so long for him to get where he wanted to get to.
Well, yeah, and obviously it's not the same animal the second time because of the Bikini Atoll thing, which shouldn't be a spoiler for anybody. Bikini Atoll has always been a part of the Godzilla stuff. It's he was a creature who was mutated and made much bigger and deadlier by American atomic testing in Bikini Atoll,
Yep.
which I found out this week apparently is also the origin of Bikini Bottom and SpongeBob.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Bikini
Well,
Bottom is Bikini Atoll after the nuclear tests.
hmm.
Like it sank. I don't know. But so when you first see him, when he shows up at the beginning of the movie, that's not like full on Godzilla. That's Godzillasaurus, which was I think he only ever appeared once before. And it's basically it's the version of Godzilla before he becomes irradiated and becomes an atomic lizard that's 400 feet tall. So, which was kind of neat that they had that in there. So, but yeah, my and when I say gripes, I don't mean like they're more like nitpicks. There's a buoyancy issue in the later part of the movie that just drives me fucking crazy. Without giving away what's happening in the scene, Godzilla is in the deepest part of the ocean in the area, and he fucking stands up. And that drives me crazy. Like, what the hell is he standing on? It makes no sense.
I thought about that too. I did think about that. I was like, well, wait a minute. Um, how
Yeah.
is he standing up?
And that's
I
it.
mean,
Like if he was floating or if he was treading water, he would move with the water. But he didn't. He just stood there. Like he was standing on something solid.
right.
Yeah. So, but there was that, and there's something that happens at the very end of the movie, not the very, very end, but like just before the end of the movie that I thought was tacked on for Western audiences who were bitches. But I don't want to say too much more than that because it will give some stuff away. But yeah, other than that, like I'll put it in a private chat for you, Larry, so that you know what I'm talking about. But without giving it away.
And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, well, what are you talking about? Because like really, especially the last part. I mean, the last part was straight action.
So, but otherwise, there are a lot of storylines in there. There's a lot of individual character arcs that were really satisfying and played out really well. Very well written. And what impressed me the most about this, and I have said this in multiple places online since I first saw it, and I'm going to say it again here. $15 million budget for this movie. That's it. A $15 million budget for a just slightly over 2-hour movie that had a handful of quick shots of CGI that didn't look great, but I mean, overall, it looked really, really good. It's mostly like the real up close stuff when you get like real up close to the scales of the feet or whatever. Wasn't totally solid, but for the most part, looked really solid throughout, right? And they wrote a hell of a script with excellent characters. And the pacing is pretty solid throughout. I know there are people who have issues with the pacing in the second half, but I think it works to kind of build tension. Um, so I don't have any issue with that there. And the one thing that this proved to me is that Toho, Japan, really just showed us all, and Hollywood, take notes, what's possible in movie making when embezzlement is punishable by ritual self-deletion.
True. I read your private chat. I disagree. There was a reason for that, and I caught it. That discussion we can have off camera. But I took film, so I understand why they did what they did. Um, and it definitely fit. And I was glad it happened because I was actually pissed when the other incident happened. And so that told me with the characters, um, they did an outstanding job. You know,
Yeah.
now if Shadow was in it, Shadow probably would have got ate up like as soon as the movie started.
Oh, definitely, because he would have run up with his like gladius or whatever, being like Ave Caesar or some shit, and just started hacking at a toenail or some shit like that. Next thing you know, he's paced on the pavement. No.
He would have he would have kicked the field goal with Shadowhawk.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
would have kicked the field goal with
speaking of
Shadow.
which, welcome into everybody coming in just now. Shadow, Clifton 3D, and Amira. Good to see you all
Cliff.
and all that. And I mean, I was blown away. I went to see it Monday night,
Uh,
and I was walking home after. The theater's about 3 miles from my house, so I was walking home after, and just kind of playing it back again in my head. And I got a phone call from my mother, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "I just went to the movie." She's like, "What did you see?" Godzilla minus one. What did you think? And I was just kind of unable to give her a solid answer because the film it stunned me. You know, it was that good. You know, so folks out there, if you have not seen it, go see Godzilla minus one. It's freaking incredible. It's a period piece. Takes place. It starts out in the last few days of World War II, and takes place in the late 40s. It's really well done. They did an excellent job. The sound design is nearly perfect. The score is incredible and is very much has some really great callbacks to old school Toho movies, including the original Godzilla. You know, that's it's good stuff.
yeah. Well, you got a call from your mom when the movie was over. I got a different call, as you know. I got a very different call. And without saying too much, I also had the. Did you guys know? Since I have moved from Ohio, um, still in transition. My family's still back there, my wife and my kids, and so I'm staying with a friend of mine right now. And I had the privilege of walking in on him uh, doing something I'd rather not have heard or
Getting
seen.
busy.
Yeah, and I mean, you. There was no
Did you walk
mistaking
in
what
and
was going.
he was just saying like brown chicken, brown cow?
No, he didn't have to. She was making all the noise. But I will tell you what. It's been cold over here where I'm at, right? And
Yeah.
when I left, the house was cold. All right. When I came in, the whole downstairs was cold. They're upstairs. I go upstairs and it's like an oven, which told me that they radiated and generated all that heat and it got through his door into the hallway and sat there because it's been the whole time that I've been here, it's never been that hot in here, even when it was hot, and it's gotten colder, and it was
Oh
raining
man,
today.
you were walking through their aerosolized perspiration.
Yeah, which is
You got them
which
on
is
you.
so yeah, Samir. I know heat rises, but as cold as he's kept his house, there was no heat. It's been cold where I'm at. The sun really hasn't even been out the entire week that I've been here. The whole 8 days that I've been here. so, so there was no mistake. I was hearing thump, 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 everything. I was just like, oh man, okay. So I just kind of waited a bit and just waited until he wore her out, and then I tried to
Was
sneak
that was
upstairs.
was that the rhythm? Thump, 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 thump,
Actually, yes,
thump, 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 thump. Dude, you should have
that's
shouted
what
out
it
Mortal
was.
Kombat.
No, I didn't want to do that. I was not gonna ruin it, but it's
Mortal
bad enough he had
Kombat.
it's bad enough he had to text me and warn me. He was like, "Hey, I'm just letting you know, I'm not alone right now, and I probably won't be when you get back." Open the door. What do I hear? Ah, yeah,
Yeah, or everybody dance now.
yeah. So
Oh man, I miss the 90s.
yeah, I wish they had played some music. It's something, some Jodeci or something, just to cover it up. But
Hmm.
but yeah, I was like, okay, well, all right, man. let me go ahead and go in the room and shut the door, which is exactly what I
Yeah.
did. But it was all good. But as for going back to Godzilla, yeah, I can't stress enough. That movie was well worth the 2 hours and 5 minutes. Now, I do have a question for you. When you, I'm sure you saw like movie trailers, right? They showed a
Yeah, I
movie
saw a few,
trailer.
yeah.
Right? Were any of them in Japanese?
No, they were all for American movies.
Mine weren't.
Hmm.
One of them was in the first trailer was in Japanese. It was a Japanese film, but the second one, somebody must have been inspired by all this that's going on with bears. But it's a new horror movie called Imaginary, and it's a evil teddy bear, a teddy bear that's actually a monster. It's a teddy bear monster.
Hmm. Yeah, I could see that. Teddy Ruxpin always had that look about him, like he could slaughter some kids.
Oh, I hated Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
Talking about treasure maps and all this other crap. Like, no,
You know, you could put any tape in Teddy Ruxpin, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can put literally any tape. I had mine singing like old Vixen tunes.
I wish I didn't know
for
that.
yeah, for those of you out there who don't know, yes, I'm old. Vixen was a band in the 80s.
Yeah, I hated. I had no interest in Teddy Ruxpin when I was a kid. I used to kick other kids that had Teddy Ruxpin. I would kick their Teddy Ruxpin across the room.
Yeah.
I was just like, I ain't playing with no doll. They're like, it's not a doll, it's a teddy bear. I was like, it's a doll. That's
No,
creepy, and I don't.
I regarding the trailers though, all the trailers I got seem to be celebrating masculinity,
Hmm.
which was interesting. There's one called coming out soon, if it hasn't already, called "The Boys in the Boat," which is about a rowing team,
Nope,
and
didn't see it.
it's about a bunch. It's about 8 young men who agree to be on a rowing team so that they can have a bed and food during the Great Depression, and how they became Olympic champions. And it looks incredible. I'm not really into rowing, but the movie itself looks really good. Um, and it's about young men, being a team, being a unit. You know,
Mhm.
which is to my mind celebrating masculinity. There was another one called The Beekeeper with Jason Statham about a man who goes around taking out people who are part of the system that tramples on everybody else, like elites worldwide, which I think is a little on the nose, but I'm kind of interested in seeing it.
Now,
You know,
why couldn't I have gotten cool trailers like that? The ones I got were forgettable. That I guess the first one was a Japanese film. I was like, okay, why am I watching this? And the second one was the imaginary. Now, the imaginary that movie does look like it's worth watching because it's produced by the same person that produced Megan and Five Nights at Freddy's and a few other popular horror movies. So um, and the last one that they showed, I can't even remember what it was. So that tells me right there it wasn't memorable. But yeah,
yeah.
all of
Well,
the trailers you just mentioned, they didn't show any of those.
the other one was Aquaman 2, so there's that.
Oh, nope, they spared me of that one.
Yeah. So
I got
yeah,
spared
there were
now.
some interesting trailers, some movies that I'm actually interested in seeing. They were showing trailers for, which is a very rare thing these days. Most of the time, I'd say most of the time, man, this is the third time I've been to the theater this year. Right? I don't go anymore, hardly ever.
Well, don't you have to try? Isn't the closest one like 50 miles away from where you live?
Oh, it's like 3 miles away from where I live. It's on the other side of town. It's fine.
That's
It's not
a
that far.
that's a long walk hiding from mountain lions and rattlesnakes and all the stuff that you come across.
It's like 35-minute brisk walk. It's not that bad.
Hmm, I guess.
There's a straight shot. There's a main road that basically goes from where I am to where the theater is. It's really not that bad. Um, but no, I don't worry about the mountain lions so much. That was kind of a freak occurrence. Larry likes to tell people that this is happening all the time. It happened one time that there was a mountain lion in the same neighborhood I was, and I was not aware of it. I found out the next day that I could have been mauled to death on my walk home, but
One
but I
time is
was
all you
not.
need. I'm just raising awareness of
Most
how
of the
dangerous
time,
your
you
walks
don't.
are.
Yeah, most of the
Well, well,
time they
let,
don't
let,
come
let-
into town.
well, let's see. It's what has happened to Samuel on his walks besides. Well, okay, we have to cross out the snakes. I'll give you that. Besides the mountain lion, how many times have I called you and heard you running from either tornadoes or lightning or hail?
The tornado thing was a watch. It wasn't a warning. Uh, Hail happens all the time here, unfortunately, and so does lightning.
What about the time you were stuck on it? What about the time you were stuck under that underpass for what was it, like an hour and a half on your way
Yeah,
home?
because it wouldn't stop fucking raining. I had to wait for the rain to clear out because the streets were flooded.
you, you know how to swim, right?
Yes, yes, I do. I didn't
No,
once.
Mary, you didn't miss the show. What show?
She's talking about this one. I think she's calling us boring.
Yeah, get up out of here. Um, So, but since a lot of you guys are here, just in case you've probably missed it. So, what we said, just to recap, an announcement that we made earlier. So, starting in January, we are going to go into mystery solving. We kind of, I wouldn't, well, I guess we're not like the Scooby Doo gang, but seeing as how this show is about the scary stuff, about scary mysteries and horror and all that stuff, we're going to start pulling out you know ho- you know uh, horror cases and things and weird happenings, and see if we can solve them, or at least come up with a good hypothesis as to what happened. So just stay tuned for that, and the quizzes will be back. We're just, like I said, we're just right now, I guess you could say, reloading and just getting ready to really do another good push starting next year. So this month. We're still putting out content and everything, but we're gearing up for January.
Yep. Yeah. Plus, I don't know. It kind of feels like a chill night to me anyway. Um, I will say though, guys, if you have not gone to see, once again, if you have not gone to see Godzilla -1, go see it. Uh, I think I covered this at the top of the show, but Toho had originally planned for a single week American tour date for that, and they had released it to only a handful. I mean, a few hundred theaters, but just for limited showings, like showing once a day kind of thing. And it's done so well here that Toho came out a couple of days ago and they said we will keep giving you show dates as long as you keep watching it. So it's here. Go see it. It's awesome. I am going to attempt to go see it a second time in theaters. It is a movie you want to see in theaters.
Yeah, it's not a waste. It's really not a waste. I enjoyed it. Oh man, this big fat guy fell asleep in the freaking theater, man, and started snoring. Like you could hear his seat was rumbling and everything. I think somebody threw something at him to wake him up. But you can hear him going like a machine gun.
Yeah. Shadow, I have not finished reading that yet, but I will. There are a couple of things I'll get back to you on privately, but overall, good job, kid. That's hysterical. My favorite part so far is the atoms were as endless as their suffering. That's a great line. And I liked it so much that I tagged Adam in a DM with it.
All right. So
That's
on to the next
Cliff.
thing. Can't see it. Why can't you see it in Germany?
It probably hasn't been released there. In parts of Britain, it hasn't been released yet either.
Well, looky, it's a Nomitron.
Hi, Nomi.
Hi.
Nomi.
Hi.
There she is.
Hi.
How's it going?
Well, you just missed all the spoilers for Godzilla -1, so we're past that now.
Oh, good.
No, we didn't give away all the spoilers. We didn't give away all the spoilers. We just said some general things. We didn't spoil it for everybody.
I'm going to see it on Tuesday, so I'm glad I missed it.
Good. Definitely go see it. Well worth the price of admission.
As I've been told, so I am going to spend the extra monies that I usually go on Tuesdays where it's $5, but I'm going to do that, I think, on Sunday. So I'll be paying $20 for a ticket.
$20 for a ticket.
It's one of those bougie theaters that have the reclining seats.
Like AMC?
Yeah. Those. But
yeah. I went to my local Cinemark. You know what I got? Pack of Twizzlers and a soda and an upright seat.
Hey, Cinemark's the best, man. I love Cinemark.
Ours is old.
Yeah, you know what I do when I go to movie theaters? I sneak in a bunch of stuff. What are they going to do? Stop me? Kick me out? Well, actually, no. You know what? Yeah, they can do that. But I still do it anyway. And
I was gonna say.
You do ASMR during the trailers.
No. Well, if you're sitting next to me, you're definitely going to get some ASMR in live action. Because I eat my popcorn and then I eat my hot dog and then I sneak in the Chick-fil-A that I snuck in. And I only crack open the drinks. What?
You snuck in Chick-fil-A?
I was about to say that. How did you?
That's not a snack, woman. That's a damn meal.
That's a meal.
I do that all the time. I've done that for like Taco Bell, and there's a well-known place where I'm from. It's called Taco Cabana. Yeah, I sneak that stuff in.
How do you not get kicked out for the rappers? Like, because they make all that noise.
How did I get in this country? Yeah. So I just have my ways. I just know how to sneak in things without getting caught. And then I snuck in a giant one. I think
You
I was
kind of
watching.
roboting out.
Oh, poop.
I heard that loud and clear.
Yeah, we heard that.
Okay, how's this?
It's a little better. Yeah.
All right, cool. I snuck in a giant Chick-fil-A milkshake. That was pretty fun. I didn't like the movie, but I was like, yay, a milkshake. And then for Godzilla on Sunday, since Chick-fil-A is closed, I'm going to be bringing in, it's another well-known restaurant where I'm from, green chili chicken enchiladas. And then I'll be sneaking in, I think like, I don't know, a drink of choice. I'm not sure, but yes.
What are you gonna do? Tie it all to your leg?
You know, us women have our ways of getting what we want, and we will use anything to get there. So I use my purse. My purse. Well, it brings to the movie theater, so I can be like, "Hey, do you guys want some chicken nuggets? Here, I got a tray of 30. Get what you like. And here's a tub of sauce,
30?
whatever you need."
30? You put 30 of them in your purse? Or you hide them behind your ID?
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I have like a bag. You know, girls have big bags. Like especially if you see the Marc Jacobs, the tote bag by Marc Jacobs. Yeah, you're sneaking in some food in there. So yeah, if you see me, I could do that. I've done that before. And the last time I did that, I did Buffalo Wild Wings.
Spicy or mild?
I'm mild. I'm really
That's okay.
picky about like spiciness. I had a bad experience. I ordered tacos from someone, and you know you can't go wrong with tacos. But someone they didn't tell me that I took a big bite out of it, not knowing the salsa was already in there, and the salsa was just way too spicy. This was like my pits were sweating, my nose was running, tears were running in my eyes. That's how spicy it was for me. So since then, I have to taste it first before I can commit to that spiciness.
That's fair.
Yeah,
And
fair.
Kohai, I have door dashed before.
To theater.
Maybe.
Yeah, you get caught. You could just say DoorDash.
Yeah. Well, no, they wouldn't allow me in if I'm like, yeah, I'm a DoorDasher bringing someone's food to this theater. But if they to deliver whatever food to them, it's just the equivalent price of what they could have spent at the theater.
You might want to reset your audio because it is cutting in and out.
Oh, I know what it is because I'm messing with it. There.
I'm assuming she pulled the plug on.
Can you not hear me?
Yes.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because he said, assuming I pulled the plug, and I haven't pulled anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that's my little rant of Chick-fil-A sneaking into the movie theaters. Oh, I also bring in a blanket because it gets cold in there. And then if I'm really feeling it, I will sneak in a bottle of wine as well.
How big is your purse, woman?
You would have to see it.
That seems like a lot of stuff.
Dude,
No,
like,
we got
Yeah,
everything
most of
in
that
there.
in a backpack.
Dude, Nomi's got her 45 in there. She's got her refrigerator in there. Nomi's got everything up in there.
Yeah, no, I'm the person like I have the snacks, guys. Like, what do you guys want? Here's the Reese's peanut butter cups. Here's these. What like? But I will like indulge in like the nachos or the popcorn because that's just like a guilty pleasure for me, especially with
Shadow, stop typing "commie" in my chat. Just stop it. Nobody here can read that shit but you anyway.
Mhm.
Hey, Nomi Kohai says you got a Mary Poppins bag. That's a big bag. if you got a Harry Poppins bag, that's a big bag. You put everything in there, bricks, cinder blocks. I mean, you hit somebody with Mary Poppins hits somebody with their head, hits them in the head with it. They're done.
And can't forget sugar because sugar makes them snap.
Yeah, it makes the medicine go down, right? The medicine is the brick you've got in your purse.
The medicine is Pepto.
Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, just because if I brought in tacos because it's too spicy and upset stomach, heartburn, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol and coffee.
Pepto-Bismol and coffee? That sounds disgusting.
Well, I'd say you drink it all together.
No, I like living. I like having a bad.
Mm.
But yeah, how are you guys though? Oh, go ahead, Larry. What's up?
I'm gonna say, were you working tonight, or are you on a break, or are you off?
I was off tonight. I wanted to enjoy my Friday evening. I didn't have to be at the bar because I wasn't scheduled today, so which is like amazing. I do work. But yeah, I got some Christmas stuff done. I went to the gym. I haven't been to the gym in a long time. It was literally a day for me. Like I finished one class for a certain thing. Had a little party for that. So I'm just like, you know what? I could hop on. I was even debating to join you guys too. I was like, no, Larry and Sam. It's been a week. I should, just hang out with them. So, and I've already done my wrapping for Christmas gifts. So yeah, the rest of the night is to myself.
Wait a minute, you rap?
Yeah, watch. Chapstick. Gotta put some chapstick. I messed that one up. Here, I have another one. I have a beat in my head, so just trust the process. So no, wait, hold on. Beats, and I'm always on time. I'm the best. I'm baddest of the best. Yes, I'm the queen. Just like Darth Vader, he step up to me, and you're gonna get dissed, homeboy. Yeah. The DJ. Where's my rap? No, wait, I said that wrong too. Gosh, blood. Like, I need a DJ because I'm a rapper.
Well, Larry had to listen to a beat of sorts earlier.
Yeah, I did. A friend of mine gave me fair warning, and I still came home and walked in on him breakdancing with a female guest.
Breakdancing. I haven't heard that term in a while.
Making the beast with two backs.
Yeah, they were doing the Texas two-step, so to speak.
The horizontal lambada.
Yep.
Got it. I picked that up.
Yeah, but it's fun to say these things. Bumping uglies.
Yeah, the howling and the howling was hilarious though, and all the heat that they generated. They heated up the whole second floor. I was like, dang, hallways all hot. But you know,
we got Shadow.
it was.
We got Shadow pimping your Cash App for more Nomi wraps.
The Nomi
Yeah. Let's toss a coin to the Nomi jar.
You can hear Nomi rap while she raps something for your ASMR needs.
I actually made a video of ASMR wrapping gifts.
I wonder if people are still listening to ASMR. I mean, because it wasn't like 2 years ago where it was really popular and everybody was doing it.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Yeah, they're doing that. They're doing other stuff too. But for instance, Amaranth made certain types of ASMR very, very popular. She no longer does those things, but others still do. Now she just shows every inch of herself on OnlyFans for $5 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
And sells her yeast to a beer company for them to make beer out of it.
Clifton, don't make me put you in timeout, buddy. I do not. I hate ASMR. I think it's the worst thing in the world. Right after wet socks.
Yeah. Wet socks. No, thank you.
Some people will tell you that a broken heart is the worst feeling in the world. I disagree. I say wet socks.
I have to agree with that. I hate wet socks.
I'd rather tell wet socks than go through another heartbreak. So
I don't know.
That's just me. That's just me.
Because like a broken heart heals, but wet socks will ruin your whole month.
It will ruin I wouldn't say the month. I have worse things that I go through every month, Samuel.
I
Like
spend a lot of time. Yeah, I spend a lot of time walking in inclement weather. Wet socks are a big problem for me.
Whoa, boo-hoo, woe is me. Think about the other females that live in your area, Samuel, who have their monthlies and walk through the area that you live in and have wet socks. They get a double whammy.
Sure,
He lives in the middle of
especially
nowhere.
if it's a heavy flow day and
the
it makes
women
it all
that
the
live
way
near
down
him
the
are all
legs
reptiles.
into their socks.
You live in the middle of nowhere, though, man. All the women that live near you are reptiles.
That's not true at all.
Speaking of ASMR.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry,
So-
Samuel.
No, you're not.
That was a freebie. I didn't get paid for that one. Hey guys, if you want me to like annoy Samuel, just send me $5 on Cash App so I can annoy him with my sounds.
Yeah, she's got a whole soundboard. We need to get you the pre-recorded soundboard of all your ASMR stuff, and then you could just play it for Samuel.
Yeah, real quick. Shadow, no, I didn't forget that part. I wasn't talking to him. I was talking at him. There's a difference. No. And I thought we already covered on Twitter earlier this week that I am, in fact, a blasphemer and a heretic. At least I've been called such. So, no, I didn't forget anything.
Well, at least
Are
you
you
won't be
sure?
called a virgin.
Anywho.
Well, see you later.
Yeah. Big gulp, huh?
And that's why I like grape jelly.
Wow.
All right. We had somewhere we were going.
I'm sorry. I just had a prison scene popped in my head when she said jelly.
let this play out.
That's some good ASMR right there.
God.
It's amazing that works even when she's like not on camera.
Oh my
Well, it's her
God.
photo. Technically, she is still on camera.
All right. Well, we had. I think we were going to go through some monsters at some point here.
Yeah. So, Naomi, in celebration of Godzilla's success, we were gonna go through. Collider has a list of the best movie monsters of all time, and they ranked them. So
Okay.
some of these I've never heard of, like the aliens attack the block. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of the movie. Let's see, when the anti-heroes of Attack the Block are asked to describe the nameless aliens that beset their apartment complex. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I've never heard of this. Spiky, pitch black fur, and sporting scads of bioluminescent fangs. I mean, they
Mhm.
just look like shadows of vampires with teeth coming out of their chests.
Mm. That sounds really scary, and I don't know if I would. I don't know what I would do if I ever encountered that.
Run.
Mm, Yes, but I'm very like I would just rather faint and just have them just gobble me up, whatever they want to do, eat me.
Hey, Shadow went to sleep.
Nice shadow. Oh, I also want to acknowledge Amira. Hi, Amira. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a while. But
I
yes, tell me more about these little bioluminescent monsters.
I have no idea. I've never seen them. It's just apparently they look like a cross between gorillas and a wolf. Let me see. You know what? Let me see if I can
Grills and a
present.
wolf.
Looks like a cross between a gorilla and a wolf. Doot, doot, doot. There. That's it.
That's just like a black blob
With teeth coming out of his chest, like I said.
with glow in the dark teeth.
I don't know. It could be a hunched over ape.
Well, that's what they're saying is that it's a gorilla wolf. No, I'm not gonna say the rest.
Well, like the mouth doesn't even look like it's connected to the head or the whole body. I see the arm and then just a mouth in between its stomach. So it's
Yeah,
like doesn't even look like an ape or a wolf.
Well, they're supposed to be aliens, right?
yeah. It's supposed to be aliens. So
I didn't see Attack the Block. I heard it was all right.
when did
One
it
of
come
John
out? I've
Boyega's
never heard
movies.
of it at all.
It's a British flick. Came out. I want to say prior to the Star Wars sequel trilogy because John Boyega was in this before he was in those.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
at least 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, let's go on to the next one. Audrey 2, Little Shop of Horrors.
Nice. Feed me, Seymour. He's got blood. And it's more than enough. I fucking love that movie.
Never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So the Audrey 2 that they're showing there is from the colorized musical remake of Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis. It's got Steve Martin in it. I think Bill Murray's in it at some point. And it's really good, and that's the one most people think of. There was another black and white version that was much more serious, much darker in tone. That had Jack Nicholson in it, a young Jack Nicholson in it, and playing the Steve Martin role weirdly, which was a psychotic dentist. And it's a very chilling movie. Whereas this one, while bad stuff happens to people, is almost a comedy, and it is a musical.
Hmm.
It's really good though.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
go
I can
rent
understand.
it.
Sorry, I can understand why Audrey 2 is iconic though. Little Shop of Horrors is a classic, even though I haven't seen it, but I mean I do know that it's a classic. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at it.
You should definitely watch it. And it's called Audrey 2 because it starts out as like a little sapling, right? And then it grows into this horrendous like giant man-eating plant, but it's an alien plant. And when Seymour, our hero, first finds the thing, and I say hero loosely because he feeds fucking people to this thing. He names it after the girl he's in love with, but doesn't have the balls to say anything to, Audrey.
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's a weird story, but it's fun.
Which brings us to our next one. Let's see, The Blob.
Also from the remake, but also one of the best horror movie remakes ever made.
I would have thought The Blob would have been a little higher on the list.
Yeah, it is kind of an all-consuming force. So yeah, that's but yeah, also based on a black and white film. I think it says right there, yeah, it mentions Steve McQueen.
No,
It's
I think
basically
you never see.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
What? I missed something. I don't know.
Have you seen The Blob?
No,
Ah,
I have not.
it's essentially pink goo that gets bigger every time it consumes something,
Okay.
including people and buildings. Eventually,
Why pink? Is
I
it
don't know.
female?
It's just
Or is it
no,
just like is it just identifying as a female?
I don't think it has a gender. It's just a blob of stuff of goo.
It's just okay. So it doesn't think for itself then.
No, it doesn't have like a central nervous system or anything.
But it eats people. It eats things.
Think of it as sort of an oversized amoeba.
Well, how do amoeba think?
They don't.
They're conscious, aren't they? Like
You. No, they have they're single-celled organisms. They don't have a nervous system either.
okay.
No, but yeah.
Well,
It's just it's just a big bunch of goo that eats people.
Well, the pink looks good on that person who's dying.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good movie though. It's a good movie to watch. All right, next one. Nice one. Isn't this the one where they were inside the stomach and they didn't know they were, or is that the?
No, that's the Sarlacc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
no,
this
this
what
was the
this is what Luke fought, right?
yes, I'm the one that ate Ula the dancer.
Yeah. I like Ula.
Made a pretty cool action figure when I was a kid too. Yeah, because I played with toys when I was a kid, like most kids.
Did they make a toy out of this thing?
They did, yeah. Yeah, it's like a
Really?
foot and a half tall.
Really?
It's getting
I
too
didn't know
nerdy.
that. I had no idea they had done that.
Yeah, they made all kinds of stuff. We're not doing gangster stuff tonight.
Why aren't we doing gangster stuff tonight, though?
Because we're talking about monsters.
That was in December. That was in October.
It's kind of all the time, but okay.
Yeah, Abyssal Musings at its core is about the weird, the scary, the macabre. We're doing this tonight, because of Godzilla. That's all. You know, but certain people they don't appreciate the arts. They just want to talk about gangsta stuff.
Winter. I'm going to disagree with you, Amira. Winter is not gangsta season. It's
The gangsters are hibernating. They hibernate in the
y-
winter.
yeah. It's it's just dead.
I'll
It
tell you
does
what.
get
You know what?
cold.
You know what? How about this, Sam? Next week, I'm willing to do a show on gangsters because I do like gangster movies like Casino and all the others, and I do have a profound interest in the real life gangsters that the characters are based off of. So if you're fine with that, we can do that next week.
We can cover that stuff. I am probably less knowledgeable about it than you are because I actually don't really enjoy most of those movies. There's only a handful that I ever liked. But um, but yeah, we can do that if you want.
Yeah. Well, then we'll do a mix. I'll bring that. You bring something that you're comfortable with. Nomi, you bring something if you're not working it.
We
You bring
lost
something
Larry.
and we'll have a go at it.
Sure.
No, I'm here.
You roboted out for a second.
Did I?
Yeah, just for a second, but yeah.
That was odd.
So, but while we are here though tonight, why don't we finish this list here?
It's okay. So next one, Clover. I never watched Cloverfield. I heard Cloverfield was good.
It was
The
all right.
movie's good. The monster kind of sucks.
Was it like a dinosaur? It's an alien, right?
Yeah, essentially it's alien. There are 3 movies that are loosely joined that involve like aliens, giant monsters, and interdimensional travel and all that stuff. This was the first one, and the movie's okay. It's found footage, which I find annoying. I don't really like found footage movies, just because there's way too much shaky cam. It's all handheld. Um, but and the monster itself, I think the design was pretty piss poor. And it essentially happened because J.J. Abrams really wanted to do a Godzilla movie and couldn't get the rights to it.
So so he came up with this instead.
Yeah, the
It looks like a
characters are
monster.
fine. Yeah. The design of the monster is not great. It does what it needs to do. It's not in frame all the time, and the rest of the movie's pretty well done. And I don't have an issue with that. I just didn't think this particular monster was he just looks. Aside from his size, he just kind of looks like a big pussy. So, you know.
He looks like something out of Star Wars.
Yeah, essentially.
But even that's a bit of a stretch though, because I think Star Wars monster designs are a lot more intricate than this one.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wasn't impressed with the monster in the movie. The movie itself was okay. You know.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay
that's
CGI.
exactly it, Amira. That it does. It looks like it's not finished. Like
Yeah.
they abandoned the design process halfway through and just said, "Fuck it, we'll just put this on screen."
I'm pretty
Fuck
sure
it,
that's
we'll do it
exactly.
live.
Yep.
Do it
Hey,
live.
Bill O'Reilly. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why he got so mad. Like what? Had his toupee leaning sideways and everything.
From what I understand, there was a teleprompter malfunction, and he was angry about it. It had to do with his opening monologue for his show.
Well, we'll do it live. Now here's a more intricate monster, the Otachi from Pacific Rim.
I liked all the monsters in Pacific Rim. I thought they were great. You know,
I always saw bits and pieces of that movie. I need to watch it in full.
yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I mean, it's again basically Americans wanted to make giant robots versus or giant mechs versus giant kaiju kind of stuff, but they did a pretty good job with it. It's got Charlie Hunnam is in it, and
Charlie
Idris
Day.
Elba. Charlie Day's in
Yeah,
it,
it
yeah.
just
Ron Perlman. So, but yeah, the monsters looked pretty good in that, and each one of them was unique. Like none of them looked like you had the Mutos in the Godzilla flick, the legendary Godzilla flick that were basically just big bugs. These guys didn't look like that. Each one of them had like personality and distinctness to it, which was really cool.
somebody put the work into it, but it had it was a big budget too, wasn't it?
Well, it was big-ish. It's a Guillermo del Toro movie, and whatever you say about the man and his movies, he's nothing if not imaginative.
Mm.
No, he did the
Guillermo,
Hellboy movies. He did Pan's Labyrinth.
I think that was really good.
Yeah. Guillermo does some good stuff. He does some good stuff. It's just M. Night Shyamalan that I'm not a fan of, and I started out as a fan, but man, the Village just really soured me on him.
You really hate that movie.
Boy, because it had so much potential. It really did.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty solid myself, but that was, I don't know, maybe we just come from a different headspace on that.
I guess I'm shocked that you liked it. I am shocked.
I really enjoyed the twist. I thought that was awesome. The one that threw me for Shyamalan was Signs. I find Signs boring as fuck.
I heard Signs was bad too. No. The woman in the lake, not Sign.
Lady in okay. Lady in the Water, and I actually
Yeah,
like
Lady in
that
the
one
Water.
too. But everybody went into that. They're like, "Oh, what's the big twist? What's the big twist?" Well, the twist is there wasn't one. It's a straightforward fairy tale,
Yep.
and I liked it. I thought it was really well told. Paul Giamatti's in it. He's awesome. You know, not everybody agrees with me on that take, but I liked Lady in the Water quite a bit. But I did not like Signs at all. It was just the concept is cool. It's about a preacher who lost his faith, having to confront that again when aliens fucking invade his farm, right? And that sounds like it could be a good time, but man, it was just boring. You know, and it had Mel Gibson in it, for Christ's sake. It shouldn't be boring. You know, but that was just that's where they Shyamalan started losing for me, and then he made that god awful Avatar adaptation, and it's just
Yeah, I had
Yikes.
already jumped off the boat by then, so that's on you, buddy. Next one.
yeah. Well, I'm glad I hadn't totally abandoned it though, because yeah, that's a good one right there. The Mammoth and Mist. Yeah. It's huge too.
Now, is that from the original one? Because wasn't there like two different versions
No.
of the Mist?
No. You're thinking of The Fog, I think,
Fog,
because
yeah.
the Mist is based. This movie is an adaptation of a short story by Stephen King. Which is, yeah, the biggest difference between the two is that in the short story, there's never really anything more than a vague description of the monsters. You don't really see them like this. In fact, you don't really see them at all. It's just implied that they're there, and it lets your imagination do all of the work. And the ending is completely different than what King wrote. The ending of the movie is a much more jarring, shocking ending. And the movie just shows up in one scene.
Excuse me, Samuel. You're roboting like
How's that now?
sounds better, but it was just like you were talking, and then it was choppy, more choppy than robot-y.
Yeah, I had my internet got wobbly for a second.
Ooh, well, make it sturdy.
It's not really up to me. You know, but I do like the design of this beast quite a bit.
Yeah, I do too. It looks otherworldly. It just looks almost Star Wars. Like the giant walkers that they have in Star Wars. It kind of reminds me of that, like its gate and the way it's all
Yeah,
jointed up.
I
But it
guess
looks
if
like
one of those had sex with Cthulhu.
that's what I was about to say. Or you.
Yeah. So, but no, that movie's got all kinds of cool stuff in it.
All right. I ugh.
Didn't see
So
that.
I've never seen The Host, so I have no idea. It's a
Yeah.
mutant.
It looks interesting. Just judging by that picture, but I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, it's creeping me out, so I think I'll skip that one. The
Gene
Predator.
Ho Bong. Predator's classic. Classic. And it's more or less humanoid.
Mm.
You don't really get into like how alien it is until it takes the mask off in the third act.
But it's still. I like the Predators because even though they look the way that they look, I mean, there's a method to everything that they're doing. They're not just wild beasts out there just killing just for the sake of killing. They actually have honor. They have an honor code.
Well, they have a code, and they might call it honor, sure. But I do like the fact that they're so brutal, and their whole way of life is so visceral and bloody, but they're also clearly they're further technologically advanced than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of flies in the face. If there's a school of thought that said that any civilization that's sufficiently advanced enough to travel between the stars must be like altruistic or some shit like that, and this flies right in the face of that, and I love that about them. Well, here's some aliens, and they've got better shit than us, and they might be smarter than us, and they're bigger and stronger and faster than us,
And they're gonna
they're
probe
dicks.
us.
Yeah.
Yep.
With something that's got razor edges.
But here's the thing with Predators, though: you're safe as long as you don't have a weapon. Even if your weapon's holstered, if you've got a weapon in your hand, you're fair game with them.
That is only partially true. If, like, for instance, if they came across like a BJJ tournament, right? Those people are weapons.
Never thought of it like that.
Whoever came out the winner would be a trophy.
That's true, because they are looking for things. Well, yeah, because the aliens don't shoot guns, so they will probably put that person in the same category as the aliens, because they're hunters and they're primarily looking for glory.
Yeah, it's the most difficult prey. And that's there's a whole lot of stuff on the culture of these things that have been that's been written about since that first movie came out. But yeah, because that was one of the neat things about the movie is that you didn't really know all that much about it. You were figuring it out along with the characters. There wasn't exposition on like, oh, it's got to be like this and this is the rules and all that stuff. They were just like, this thing's fucking chasing us down, and we need to figure out how to survive. And so you got the same information that the characters in the movie did, which was very cool.
Yep, sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have you not seen Predator either?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
It's Ryan from Legion Airplane.
Hey, Ryan. Called what? I don't know what he called. These guys, the crawlers, were fucking horrifying.
They look horrifying.
They're essentially humanoids who live in a cave system, and they hunt by sound. They're blind.
Oh.
And they're extremely agile and adept. Like can crawl on ceilings and shit.
Oh.
They don't have sticky hands or anything. They're just really good at like gripping like tiny little ridges.
Might as well call them Spider-Man or
Something
spider
like that.
demons.
I think they had more in
Oh.
common with bats than spiders, but yeah.
Classic.
There's a classic monster. Wear that suit for the underwater scenes and swim.
Hmm.
And it weighed like something like 130 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They
Good luck
did that
swimming
really
now.
well. Well, they had like scuba guys under the water with oxygen tanks on standby for them every time he needed, and all that. And that was this also, side note, this was the very first VHS movie that I ever owned myself. That was all mine. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Bought it in 1987. I still have my copy, and it still works like the day I bought it.
Nice.
Okay. Now I never saw Pan's Labyrinth, so I don't know who this pale man is.
Okay. The Pale Man is
Well-
sort of. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Pan, the little goat imp thing that like helps the little girl.
Yeah, he's the
The
fawn.
name?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. The Pale Man is the guardian of an object of quest for the main character. His eyes are on a plate, and when he picks them up, he does not place them in his head. He puts them on his hands, and he eats kids. Like-
Okay.
Alive. It's
Hey,
some pretty dark
kids,
shit.
Hi kids, you all look scrumptious today.
Yeah. Yeah, that monster was messed up with all the extra like fat flaps hanging from him and shit as he runs her down. It's some
The
creepy
extra
shit.
skin.
Yeah.
He's a Del Toro creation.
Yes, he is.
He is.
It's a very good movie too.
Mm-hmm. Next, The Werewolf, an American Werewolf in London. Not sure that I would have put it at this high up, though. I mean, I guess as far as fame and notoriety or infamy, whichever one you want to pick, his name would, I guess he should be higher up on the list.
Well, is that what the list is like the most famous ones, or?
Yeah, I think it's basically it's the website's idea of the most famous.
Oh, okay. So they don't know. Fuck all them, because like nobody knows the Pale Man who hasn't seen that movie. Yeah, though the creature effects were notable. They're still some of the best werewolf transformation effects ever. But as far as the werewolf himself goes, like I don't know, he's more interesting when he's human. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
this
know if I would have put.
I wouldn't have put it this high up. Reaper's Blade 2.
Oh yeah, those things were fucking weird looking.
They're vicious, man. Vicious and super strong.
It's interesting because there's some stuff that happens with their inside mouth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The prehensile one. That I think that Del Toro actually had a hand in design. I don't know if he had a hand in designing this, but he certainly did kind of appropriate that aesthetic for the Strigoi in the television series The Strain.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a tapeworm effect with the tongues.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a nasty bite. All right, Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, he's that's old Frank. Frank and beans, Frank and fruity.
Yeah, I think he's self-explanatory. King of the Kongs.
You know, if you look at that picture from a certain image, it kind of looks like Kong sitting on the john with a newspaper.
That's what I
Yep,
was
I
thinking.
see it too.
That's exact, and I think that's what they wanted.
It's a still frame, but yeah, it's I think he's kicking the shit out of a pterodactyl in that scene, but yeah,
Hmm.
that King Kong was the very first King Kong, mind you, was an incredible achievement of stop motion animation. Ray Harryhausen, I believe, was the guy behind that. There's a museum in southern Wyoming that has one of the original stop motion dinosaurs that was originally used for that film, and it had been cut, but it's more or less preserved, and it's got bits where the foam outer part is rotted away because the thing's like 100 years old now, and you can see the steel skeleton inside, and it's extremely articulated. And it was a work of genius of putting that movie together. It looked really good.
Okay.
Well,
Next.
if it ever, never mind. I'm over it.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Nami. Well, the next one is self-explanatory. I would have put him higher than 4.
Yeah, that's a man in a rubber suit
Yep.
Mhm.
and a bunch of miniatures. Also, really well done for the time.
With a plane in his hand.
Yeah, good movie too.
Never seen it.
I'd recommend it. It's
Well,
Burn the
Nomi,
Fly.
there you go.
The Fly.
Up
Why
close
is it
and personal.
scary?
Not scary, it's
Because
just
it,
nasty.
yeah, that movie is a horror movie, but it's a body horror movie, and the real horror is in the tragedy of the story. In what happens to Seth Brundle, it's not like scary exactly so much as it is disturbing, disgusting, and just plain sad. Which I think you can see all of those emotions on the face of Brundlefly here in the image.
Ooh, okay. I'll have to check it out so I can see the
Yeah,
emotions that he's going through.
Well,
remember the
let me put it this.
recording that he made as he was recording and he was reporting his changes. Oh,
Yep. Yeah. And if it puts things in perspective, Nomi, that creature in the image there started out as Jeff Goldblum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Good for him.
Incredible performance.
He was just a
of course
blob.
we see the
Not
last
the
two.
blob.
The xenomorph and the thing.
Both of which are kind of in the cosmic horror arena. Their effectiveness relies almost entirely on how very little we know about them.
Right.
They also both change forms
Oh.
and adapt. Only one of them has acid for blood, though.
Oh. Would you even say that they disrespect their surroundings? I'm referencing a song, but okay. I shot my shot on that one, but you guys know nothing.
I don't know the song.
It is by August Burns Red.
Yeah, I don't know them.
Well, not August Burns Red. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
All right, and of course we end things with The Thing.
Yeah.
Did they ever? I still have to watch the. I still have to. I want to watch the original. I haven't watched it yet. But have they ever shown what it originally looked like before it started mixing in with anything or copying?
No. No, they haven't. And I don't think they should.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
no. But that is a great fucking movie, though. Again, a remake of an old horror movie. Probably one of the better done remakes, though.
You think
Yeah.
so? I'm gonna show. Nomi didn't see this. I don't think you heard us when we talked about this earlier. Nomi is this Vampire Slayer kit. This Vampire Slayer kit.
Vampire favorites. Okay.
The Vampire Slayer kit that went up for auction.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Let's see.
It's supposed to be authentic. Like the real vampire hunter used this back in
Victorian,
the Dark Ages. or
Victorian
whatever.
era. It's a Victorian era vampire slaying kit with wooden stake, holy water, crucifix hidden, and Bible hits auction block. There's a gun in case none of that works. You got your little pistol right there.
Oh, I get a little pistol. Pew pew. Wait, is it for vampire? Wait, yeah, it's for vampires. So, like, would it be like little wooden stake bullets?
That's what I was wondering because in the article it says that the gun is in case the wooden stake doesn't work. But I'm like, well, if the wooden stake doesn't work and the crosses, if nothing in that kit works, then all you've got is sunlight. And unless it's dumb enough to try to come out after you in the sunlight,
And
you're toast.
unless you like dab the little wooden bullets or the steak with garlic.
Honestly, it's probably silver bullets. Silver works
But
on
silver
vampires
bullets,
too.
silver bullets are for the werewolves.
They kind of stole that for Hollywood. That was originally about vampires. Silver.
Yeah.
I mean, because it drives out the unholy. It's a holy metal.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oops.
Yeah. So odds are, yeah, if there are bullets or rounds for that, then they're probably made of silver, and probably they've got a cross carved into them, and they've probably been blessed by a priest.
Yeah, I would imagine so. They'd have to be. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. But yeah, they were looking for. They want at least a minimum of $5,000. The kid is
That's
expected
probably
to
worth
sell.
that for the antique value alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But what does this thing shoot though? There's no. I mean, I
Musket
don't know
balls.
what this is. Huh?
It's a musket ball. It's a flintlock. Yeah, that thing that your cursor was on there. That's
Yeah.
that's for the powder, not that, but the thing next to it.
So the balls must be in here then.
Most
Here
likely.
or here. Well, look, he said they better have some crosses carved in that. It better be dipped in holy water, otherwise, you're wasting your time. A
I mean,
hollowed out.
it'll still put a hole in the thing. That might slow it down.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice looking piece, though. I'd be surprised if they couldn't get more than $5,000 for it.
Yeah, I would be too. But I just thought that was cool.
Yeah. That might have been a
Honestly,
showpiece for a museum too.
Yeah, honestly, I think if I were there, I probably would have put in a bid for it, but I wouldn't have gone too high, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think I would have stopped at 7.
well, that's fair. I don't know. Obviously I'm not in a position to be like throwing money away at auctions or anything like that. But if I had the money, I probably would have. I probably would have gone as high as maybe 10.
So if
So,
you're saying that if money wasn't an object,
yeah, but it is.
I know.
What in the world?
I don't know. What are we looking at?
I don't know what happened. The link just went nuts.
Yeah, that's
Oh well. Well, what was supposed to be on there is basically the micronation I was telling you about. So the reason why I brought up the legal concern about it is because they were saying that if you could get arrested for bringing onions. They would arrest you for bringing onions and spinach.
Okay.
okay.
Let me try this
Is that
again.
like they allergic to it or some shit?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what's the whole big deal about? Yeah, inside the tiny Nevada micronation of just 38 people, where you could be jailed for possession of onions and spinach.
And were they going
11
to put you in a
acre,
spare room?
I guess. But I want to know what the big deal is about. Why are they upset about onions? It's a variation of the Hawaiian word maluhia, which means harmony and peace. Okay, but you're arresting people over onions and spinach.
Hmm.
The small nation, which is not recognized by the UN, well, who cares what the UN thinks? It's home to less than 40 people, most of whom do not live on the 11-acre nation. Okay, so
Yeah.
all right,
So they're LARPing.
Hmm.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. I get the idea and the appeal behind, micronations. This is for like people who can't afford to buy an island, basically. You can get away.
I guess, but the difference wouldn't they're still subject to U.S. laws. I think they're just kind of fooling themselves. But all right,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but
Well, yes.
that is what I have for tonight. That is it.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have
Yeah,
managed to make that work for 2 hours here. So
yeah, and that was unintentionally too. That was, I mean, tonight. No, I mean, we pretty much we wanted to talk about Godzilla, and we wanted to go through the do a list of monsters. I mean, tonight wasn't even I didn't even anticipate it going more than an hour and 20 minutes. I really didn't. So, but yeah,
kind of
that
a slow
is,
night, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think so. I think I really enjoyed the
no,
conversation about.
that's not what I meant. I just meant kind of a chill night. Like
Yeah.
not you know.
Well, you know what? We missed that conversation too. What I had said um, when we first came on was that it's just December seems like because there's so much going on that it's not that people are putting their best foot forward. I think everybody's recharging and gearing up for the next month.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know. A lot of the people that we stream with have, families and they're taking vacations around this time of year and that kind of thing. So it's probably going to be a little bit slower of a month for streaming in general. Would be my guess. I don't know. I'll still be here. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll just do some extra game stuff. We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see
He'll
how
do
that
some of
goes.
his Insomniac gaming.
Yeah, I've been doing some of that a little bit. I think I might do some later on. Actually, I don't know about tonight, but maybe tomorrow at some point. We'll see. Also,
Okay.
Nomi, did I see correctly? You are on Beelzebub tonight.
I am.
Nice.
He hasn't sent me a link for it, but I am.
He hasn't got the link up yet. Don't worry, he'll
Wait.
have it.
Okay. I trust you.
Yeah, when he posted that up on there, Devil puts a lot of work into his thumbnails.
I could tell.
Yeah, he's pretty artistic about shit like that. But at least I don't think it's up yet. Maybe it is. I don't know. But he'll have the link to you before it starts.
Okay.
Usually he sends that out like a couple minutes before everybody's getting ready to go on.
I shall look for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, as for the rest of us, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Like I said, we just wanted to do a chill night tonight. Next week we'll be, true to my word, we'll be going over. We'll be doing some gangster stuff, and maybe Sam will bring some of his abyssal knowledge in. And if Nomi's off, maybe we can get some Nomi stories about her beating people up, or maybe some of her coyote ugly stuff. Who knows? Maybe she's breakdancing for I don't know, for $5K a month. I don't know. Whatever Nomi's doing in on the job.
I don't know what to do, but I will do my best to make it fun.
Sam, I guess I'm waiting on you to do your outro, man.
Oh yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that if we want to go around the horn and let people know where we will be, obviously Nomi is going to be on a show here over on Beelzebub rather. The show is Beelzebub in about an hour and a half. So go watch that because she's sure to be a riot on there. And all that. But do you have anything else coming up, Nomi, that you wanted to tell people about?
I do have a video that I made before I hopped on here.
Yay!
So you'll be seeing that pretty soon. Yeah, I will be on Beelzebub Hub Pub, whatever the pub. I'll be. So I'll be there hanging out, and then I might not be on, but yeah, it just depends on my schedule. But yeah,
Okay.
just you'll see me more on Twitter at Know Me Without You. That's where the people can find me.
Awesome.
Larry, what do you have in the works?
Well, as you guys already know, we're working on some more stuff with Abyssal Musings. Nomi, hopefully in January we'll have you around a lot more because we are turning into the Scooby Doo game. We will be solving mysteries. We will be looking at some scary stuff. Yeah, oh yeah, we're going there. We're turning into the X-Files. so we're gonna add that to our repertoire. We're also gonna have more. We're also gonna concentrate on having more guests on, and when we have the guests on, we're gonna be looking at doing quizzes and stuff when we have them. When we have them on. And in the meantime, you guys can catch me tomorrow. I may or may not be on Abyssal Musings. We'll see. I'll also be on Vets Talking tomorrow, and you can catch me after Vets Talking. You can catch me in the chat for the Exiled Lioness 2 channel with our lovable lioness herself, Amira. And of course, you can catch me. And of course, you can catch me right here in a week with more commentary.
Indeed. That brings it around to me. Obviously, I am Samuel the Infamous. We are broadcasting from my channel of the same name because I'm super creative that way. This is the beginning of our live stream and weekend with Abyssal Musings. Tomorrow we have Screaming Into the Void, and then on Sunday, Star Trek Engage, which we will have green-haired anti-liberal as our guest.
Ooh.
So that should be fun. And then actually, I think Lily 300 Mirrors is going to be our guest the following Sunday. Whenever, yeah, we'll figure it out. I've got all this stuff written down somewhere. Anyway, You can also find me occasionally on other channels. I was not able to make it to Legion Talk tonight, but if I can swing it on Fridays, I do like to jump on and hang out with my good buddy Legion over there, as well as Adam the Renaissance Nerd's Mellow Mondays, if I can swing that. Although the timing has been kind of weird on that one lately. I haven't been able to make it for the last several weeks, unfortunately, but I'm looking to rectify that. And Late Night Mayhem on Dermy Wormy's channel on Tuesdays. And as well, like Lawrence Knight, you can find me in the chat and occasionally on panel over on Exile Linus too. So, and that I think covers just about everything. Thank you all for being here and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Thank you to both my panelists and co-hosts, Lawrence Knight and Nomi. Have a great night. And remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.
Bye.
Bye.
What is it you pray for?